Hi, everyone, and thank you for virtually attending the Scotia Mining Conference, as well as Endeavour Mining's virtual site trip. My name is Ovais Habib, and I'm a precious metals analyst with Scotiabank. At Scotiabank, Endeavour shares are rated sector outperform with Canadian $48 target price. Most of you watching this virtual site tour know the Endeavour story well, but for those of you who are new to this Endeavour story, I would start off by giving a brief intro on Endeavour, and then I will pass it on to Endeavour's team to virtually take us to their 3 mines. Endeavour operates 7 mines producing 1.5 million ounces of gold with all-in sustaining costs targeted to remain below $900 an ounce mark. Following the rapid expansion, they are now strategically positioned as the largest gold producer in West Africa. Endeavour's market cap is roughly 8 billion Canadian dollars. They are listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and in June of this year, they listed on the London Stock Exchange as well. Since we initiated coverage on Endeavour Mining in 2016, we have been pleased to see how well they have delivered on their strategy. They remain disciplined in monetizing their high-cost mines to focus on improving margins, built Ity and Houndé on time and on budget. They are on track to meet guidance for the 9th consecutive year, found 8.5 million ounces over the last 4 years, and are now targeting to discover between 15 to 20 million ounces of gold in the next 5 years. Essentially, we believe the company has been firing on all cylinders to outperform on all aspects of their business. So with that, we will move on to the virtual site trip. I'd like to thank the Endeavour team for taking the time to prepare the virtual tour and videos, especially for the Scotia Mining Conference. It's been a busy year for Endeavour, and they've disclosed a lot of information already this year. Given their Investor Day and exploration videos were very comprehensive, with this virtual site trip, I have asked them to cover some of the softer topics as well. These topics include, number one, I've asked them for a virtual tour of key assets, but with the twist of trying to give us a flavor for life at these assets. The best part about going to a site trip is really getting a sense of what the mood is like on the site and how enthusiastic employees are. So hopefully the videos will capture the Endeavour spirit. Number two, for 2021, the company is on track to beat the top end of its full year production guidance of around 1.5 million ounces of gold, and really has maintained its all-in sustaining cost guidance of $850 to $890 an ounce. As we have seen that this year, it is particularly difficult for companies to hit the all-in sustaining cost guidance. I've asked Endeavour to showcase efforts on how they are improving efficiencies to counterbalance inflationary cost pressures. Number three, I have also asked Endeavour to provide some insights on their COVID vaccine efforts and touch upon their efforts to hit their 25% women representation target as part of the diversity initiative. I'll now turn it over to Endeavour Mining, and at the end of the presentation, I'll have the opportunity to ask Mark, their COO, some follow-up questions. Endeavour, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ovais, for the introduction. I'm here with Mark, our COO, and it's a pleasure to have the opportunity to present at the Scotia Conference today. It's very unfortunate that we have not been able to organize a site visit this year given the COVID restrictions. But management has continued to go to site on a monthly basis, and our board was there just a few weeks ago. We, however, do miss not being able to showcase our efforts on site to the investment community. These site visits are, of course, very beneficial to the investment professionals, but they are equally beneficial to our employees as they can hear firsthand the investor feedback. Listening to the clear instructions set by Ovais to hopefully replicate the on-site experience, we asked our teams to showcase what a day on site looks like and feels like. Ultimately, this is tied back to our values and culture. Given the recent integrations, we have dedicated significant efforts to making sure employees continue to embody our culture and values across the organization. Before we kick off, we thought it would be good to start with a short video of our CEO, Sebastian, presenting our purpose. Let's cut to the video.
As a leading global gold producer, and the largest gold miner in West Africa, Endeavour's purpose is to produce gold that provides lasting value to society. Gold has formed the foundations of our society for over thousands of years. It is prized for its beauty, secures our global financial system, and has a critical role in the production of most modern-day electronics and technology. Its future applications are also leading to advances in medicine, engineering, and environmental management as we work towards a decarbonized world. Our purpose captures the emphasis we place on supporting long-term sustainable development, promoting a responsible approach to mining that aligns with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. This starts with protecting and promoting the places where our gold comes from. The impact of humans on our environment is one of the greatest challenges we face today. At Endeavour, we are committed to reducing the impact of our operations wherever we can, taking a proactive approach to support biodiversity, improving access to clean water, and transitioning to a net zero carbon business. Our work is a partnership, helping to create resilient and self-sustaining communities, where people are equipped with the skills, knowledge, and expertise needed to prosper. We recognize the responsibility and opportunity we have to support the long-term social and economic development of our host countries and communities. And I've seen firsthand the positive impact that our investment can make. By leveraging our relationship with global partners, we can advance and accelerate the development of our host countries and create the foundations for their self-sustaining growth. I'm proud that we support over 2,000 West African businesses through our procurement and supply chain and build our operations around a local workforce. I'm also delighted to see so many of our West African managers grow and thrive into leadership roles through our training and development programs. Above all, we value life, which means wherever we are in the world, the safety and well-being of our people and local communities comes first. Mining will always carry risk, but through improved education, standards, and technologies, we are continuously working towards our goal of zero harm, where going to work never means illness, injury, or loss of life. No job is so important it cannot be done safely. The high standards we set for our ethics and governance means we are trusted to unlock the full benefits of the material we mine for all those invested in its discovery and production. I've always believed that profits do not have to come at the expense of purpose, and our values support this. They guide our everyday actions and help us deliver our strategy to build a resilient business through commodity cycles and reward all our stakeholders, be it shareholders, government partners, communities, and staff. I believe this is how we, at Endeavour, can contribute to the well-being of our people and host countries long into the future, empowering the next generation of miners to develop new skills, support their communities, and create lasting value for all of society.
Now that you have heard Sebastian present our purpose, let's start the virtual tour. Given timing, we have picked 3 assets, Sabodala-Massawa, Ity, and Mana, so that we can show you one legacy Endeavour asset and an asset from each of the Semafo and Teranga combinations. This will also mean that we'll cover one asset from each country we operate in, which will hopefully illustrate our high standards are the same across the portfolio. Mark, over to you to present the mine video tours and address Oveis's questions.
Thanks, Martino. Let's start with our flagship asset, Sabodala-Massawa in Senegal, which we acquired from Teranga in February this year. We transferred our general manager from Hyundai to Sabadala Massawa in May, and he has settled in very quickly to the new role. There is a very experienced team on site, and they have handled the transition well, putting in a great performance year to date. Let's now see the fabulous video that the team has put together.
Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, Endeavour, la référence, Endeavour, Dana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, Endeavour, la référence, Endeavour, y a pas de discrimination, Endeavour, y a pas de xénophobie, Endeavour, c'est le vivre ensemble, Endeavour. C'est la cohésion sociale, Endeavour, Idana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, Endeavour, la référence. Que tu sois blanc, que tu sois noir, que tu sois malien, que tu sois guinéen, que tu sois ghanéen, que tu sois togolais, que tu sois ivoirien, que tu sois béninois, à Endeavour, nous sommes pareils. Endeavour, Idana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, Endeavour, la référence, Endeavour, Dana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, Endeavour, la référence. Sécurité, c'est Endeavour, côté santé, c'est Endeavour. Barrière sécuritaire, c'est Endeavour contre les Covid-19. Endeavour, Idana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, Endeavour, la référence, Endeavour, Dana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, Endeavour, la référence. Respect à toute la grande famille des milliers Endeavour Mining. À danser, Inouongo. Endeavour Mining, c'est la mine de la cohésion sociale, la mine du vivre ensemble. Imle Mitouama, Endeavour Mining au Burkina Faso. À Endeavour, y a pas de discrimination. À Endeavour, y a pas de xénophobie. Que tu sois ivoirien, que tu sois béninois. À Endeavour, nous sommes pareils. Endeavour, Idana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, Endeavour, la référence, Endeavour, Dana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, Endeavour, la référence. Sécurité, c'est Endeavour, côté santé, c'est Endeavour. Barrière sécuritaire, c'est Endeavour contre les Covid-19. Endeavour, Idana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, Endeavour, la référence, Endeavour, Dana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, Endeavour, la référence. Respect à toute la grande famille des milliers Endeavour Mining. À danser, Inouongo. Endeavour Mining, c'est la mine de la cohésion sociale, la mine de vivre ensemble. Him le mituama, Endeavour Mining au Burkina Faso. À Endeavour, y a pas de discrimination. À Endeavour, y a pas de xénophobie. À Endeavour, c'est le vivre ensemble. À Endeavour, c'est la cohésion sociale. Endeavour, Idana. Endeavour, la solution. La solution, Endeavour, welcome. Welcome, Endeavour, la référence. La référence, Endeavour. Y'a pas de discrimination, Endeavour. Y'a pas de xénophobie, Endeavour. C'est le vivre ensemble, Endeavour. C'est la cohésion sociale, Endeavour, Idana. Idana, Endeavour, la solution. La solution, Endeavour, welcome. Welcome, Endeavour, la référence. La référence. Que tu sois blanc, que tu sois noir, que tu sois malien, que tu sois guinéen, que tu sois ghanéen, que tu sois togolais, que tu sois ivoirien, que tu sois béninois, à Endeavour, nous sommes pareils. Endeavour, Idana, Idana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome. Welcome, Endeavour, la référence, Endeavour, Dana, Idana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, welcome, Endeavour, la référence. Sécurité, c'est Endeavour, côté santé, c'est Endeavour, barrière sécuritaire, c'est Endeavour, contre le Covid-19. Endeavour, Idana, Idana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, welcome, Endeavour, la référence, Endeavour, Dana, Idana, Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, welcome, Endeavour, la référence, Respect à toute la grande famille des milliers Endeavour Mining. À danser, Inouongo. Endeavour Mining, c'est la mine de la cohésion sociale, la mine de vivre ensemble. Him le mituama, Endeavour Mining au Burkina Faso. À Endeavour, y a pas de discrimination. À Endeavour, y a pas de xénophobie. À Endeavour, c'est le vivre ensemble. À Endeavour, c'est la cohésion sociale. Endeavour, Idana. Endeavour, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, welcome, Endeavour, la référence, Endeavour, Idana, la solution, Endeavour, welcome, welcome, Endeavour, la référence,
From the video, I'm sure you will feel the wonderful camaraderie and team spirit on site. And there should be, since Sabodala-Massawa has been a fantastic asset for many years with the potential to get even better. I've been to the mine 6 or 7 times already, and each time I've seen fantastic progress in many parts of the operation. Thanks to the good progress made on the Phase 1 plant upgrades, which we expect to complete this quarter, we are already able to feed higher grades through the plant while maintaining efficiencies. And of course, we're working on the DFS for Phase 2, which should be published early in the new year. Let's now move to Ity in Côte d'Ivoire, where the CIL plant was commissioned in 2019 and following a series of upgrades is now operating in excess of 5 million tonnes per annum. As you can see, we are incredibly proud of how the mine looks today and how well it is operating, and the reserves that we have, which is a large contrast to when we first acquired a stake in the mine in 2012 with only 2 years of reserves at that time. Ity is on track for a record year, and we have identified several optimisation initiatives to make it an even better asset. From an operating standpoint, given the long mine life and significant exploration potential, we expect to discover up to 4.5 million ounces over the next 5 years. We are focused on how we can best optimise the asset with a number of different initiatives targeted around the processing plant in particular. Moving now to Mana, which we acquired in 2020 as part of the SEMAFO acquisition. Mana has been in operation for over a decade and is the mine where we have spent the most effort since acquisition in order to improve operating efficiencies. In particular, we have transitioned away from a large open pit pushback at Wona, which would access a limited amount of ore, to an underground which will enable incremental access to additional ore as resource knowledge extends over time as the mine progresses. We have also promoted many local employees and significantly changed the culture on site. Let's now see the video.
Depuis juin 2020, la mine d'or de Mana, jadis exploitée par le groupe SEMAFO, est passée sous la gestion du groupe Endeavour Mining. Ce nouvel acquéreur, qui s'identifie à travers les 4 valeurs fondamentales dénommées 4P, partenaire, performant, proactif et pionnier, fait office de mine modèle au Burkina Faso en accordant un respect fondamental à tous ses partenaires dont les communautés riveraines se trouveraient au cœur de sa stratégie. Afin de garantir cette cohésion sociale entre ses différents partenaires, employés, sous-traitants, autorités locales et communautés, les premiers responsables de la mine mettent en place des actions permettant de faciliter les échanges, de recueillir les différentes attentes et d'y apporter des solutions. À cet effet, un cadre de concertation a été instauré de manière à assurer cette fonction.
Pretty normal questions for any mining community. I think what I was more surprised at is that the cordiality that was done. Endeavour being a new mine, a new company, but taking over from the SEMAFO, which is now really a mature mine. So yeah, there will be problems, but we have a different attitude to, I think, working with the community. I mean, the first time I met both the High Commissioners, they were surprised to even see me, because that was the first time they'd actually seen the General Manager from the mine. So it's a different environment we're working within. We understand all the issues, obviously, because some of us have been in the mining industry a long time, but we have to work together with the community. And the important thing for us right now is to develop the future for this mine, and therefore we can lay a roadmap out to move forward.
Ce cadre était beaucoup attendu et ça va permettre un dialogue permanent entre la mine, les autorités locales et les populations des villages impactés.
toujours ko bɛɛ bi jɛ foyi ti bala an yɛrɛ tun b'o kɔnɔna ɲɔgɔn ye ni yɛrɛ mɛnna kan lɛ ka se ka ɲɔgɔn ye nin kan bɛ se k'an ka kunko fɔ tuguni u bɛ se ka dɔ fara a kan o tun nana ɲɔgɔn ye kɛ bi a diyara an ye.
Le groupe Endeavour Mining met l'accent sur ses ressources humaines People. Les employés bénéficient de formations continues dans le but d'améliorer leurs connaissances et leur efficacité. Sous la houlette de Endeavour, EDV, la promotion de compétences nationales à Mana est devenue une réalité.
Aujourd'hui, c'est le sentiment que nous observons bien sûr auprès du personnel d'appartenir à une entité qui a de la considération envers eux. Nous avons bien sûr ce que nous appelons le Diversity Challenge, qui est bien sûr une volonté stratégique d'amener les gens à s'accepter, à comprendre bien sûr que oui, c'est une société multinationale qui fonctionne bien sûr avec plusieurs races, plusieurs ethnies, plusieurs cultures, mais que nous arrivons bien sûr à les emboîter et à créer ce que nous appelons un cadre de vivre ensemble.
Endeavour Mining est un groupe qui met l'accent fondamentalement sur son personnel, People, aussi bien que ses partenaires d'opération et de voisinage 4PS. C'est dans cet ordre que sa filiale, Endeavour Mana, fait de la promotion de son personnel à travers la formation, la mise en confiance pour tout couronner par un programme de nationalisation de certains postes jadis occupés par le personnel expatrié. La promotion est le gage de reconnaissance que Endeavour Mana exprime face au mérite, à l'abnégation de ses employés qui font montre de leur sentir d'appartenir à un groupe de référence, aujourd'hui un modèle en matière d'exploitation minière au Burkina Faso. La nationalisation est l'engagement de faire confiance aux talents locaux, aux nationaux qui ont la fièvre de se maintenir en haute potentiel. Mais au-delà de promouvoir ou de nationaliser, la direction de Endeavour Mana se tient l'aune de son personnel pour leur apporter la formation qu'il faut afin d'assurer une véritable réussite.
Je suis arrivé en tant que mécanicien. Avec l'arrivée de Endeavour, j'ai eu la chance d'être promu. Aujourd'hui, je suis ingénieur fiabiliste. Donc c'est un grand changement tout simplement parce qu'au début, c'est un poste qui était occupé par des expatriés. Et moi, j'ai la chance d'occuper ce poste-là aujourd'hui.
J'ai été ici en tant que stagiaire où j'ai eu à faire mon stage pour l'obtention de ma licence. Je fus promu par la même occasion ingénieur minier.
Endeavour a reconnu les compétences qui étaient déjà existantes et Endeavour a essayé de faire valoir ses compétences locales. C'est dans ce sens que moi j'ai été promu comme surintendant en santé et sécurité. Avec la promotion, il s'est suivi une recherche de performance. Et cette recherche de performance a été accompagnée de formation.
I'm very happy. And for me, it's a kind of appreciation to show that the hard work that I put into my daily task is recognized. I said this training session really improved the communication I have with my colleague. And as a cost accountant, I deal with people from different departments, and it really helped facilitate that communication. It also helped me delegate my work to focus on more important tasks, which means that it improved my performance at work.
Ilingonema e wapatede la mosilamti bimandiga pusana konfmentumo pour konfmentumo pour mampo dam patromba alwisgo nem tununtaza fajili.
Le poste que je viens d'avoir, que je pilote depuis maintenant presque un an, me permet d'aller de l'avant dans les compétences managériales surtout et qui me permettent aujourd'hui de rêver que moi aussi je peux être encore devant.
Endeavour Mana a confiance à la jeunesse, à ses étudiants qui sont à la recherche de leur premier emploi à travers des programmes de stage et des bourses d'études sous l'appui de la fondation Endeavour.
The aim of the everyday meeting is to brief everybody about what is going to happen during the day. As a trainee, you can get the possibility to be employed at Mana Endeavour. And also with the Endeavour Foundation, because I'm still a student, I've got the promise that if I really excel, I can get the opportunity to get a scholarship and continue my study abroad.
As I've highlighted before, with regard to our strategies for training, next year we're planning to train people so that they can become upskilled. So that will be beneficial for the employees themselves, and it will also be beneficial for the company because the company will be having now a team of very upskilled labor.
D'abord, sur le plan personnel, ça nous permet d'être mieux outillés par rapport à l'exécution de nos tâches quotidiennes. Ça renforce nos capacités en la matière. Et au niveau de la société, ça nous permet vraiment d'avoir des prestations de qualité, de pouvoir être à un certain niveau d'exécution, d'avoir beaucoup plus de responsabilités et de pouvoir les exécuter selon les règles en la matière.
Cette stratégie a permis à Endeavour Mana de connaître un essor tant bien dans les opérations à ciel ouvert que dans l'exploitation souterraine.
Le plus important pour moi, c'est de voir l'épanouissement de ces gens-là dans leur nouveau poste et dans leur nouvelle fonction. Au fond de moi, je sais que toutes les promotions qui ont été faites, elles ont été faites par mérite et que toutes les personnes sont outillées pour réussir.
Nous avons aujourd'hui des employés qui témoignent clairement de leur sentiment, de leur satisfaction par rapport bien sûr aux différentes formations qui sont déballées sur le terrain. Nous venons de finir un programme de formation en frontline management où les surintendants, les superviseurs, les contremaîtres généraux ont pu prendre part à cette formation. Le retour que nous avons bien sûr est une grande satisfaction. Endeavour a déjà compris cette problématique et s'est engagé fortement dans la formation de ces ressources humaines. Aujourd'hui, voir des nationaux qui sont en train d'accéder à des postes supérieurs comme des surintendants, comme des managers, c'est un signal fort pour l'ensemble bien sûr de tous les employés, de bas de l'échelle jusqu'au sommet.
Some of the successes that we've had, it's clear that 2021 has been a big year of change at Mana. We've had significant reduction in our open pit mining, and we are now planning on rapidly increasing the underground operation side. So to go with that, there's been a number of changes on the management scene. Here today with me are three of my senior managers, all newly appointed in 2021. And to go with that, we've had, fair to say, a massive reduction in our expatriate staff during the course of the year. But to cater for that, a massive training program and promotion of something in the order of 70 plus people of our national workforce, particularly into the superintendent and general foreman roles. So that's been a very good success from Bukari and his team, particularly on the training and identifying those people. And I'm sure that that's going to bring us good success in 2022. There will be a massive need to train people now for the underground operations. And with that, we have to look at the potential of going owner mining for our underground operations as well.
La société Endeavour Mana, au-delà des opérations minières, demeure un cadre de développement des compétences. À chaque jour de travail est une opportunité d'apprendre pour les collaborateurs. Plus qu'un rêve, le personnel de Endeavour Mana pense à un Endeavour Discovery.
We hope that the new culture I was referring to earlier came across clearly in that video, both in terms of our employees and the neighbouring communities. Now let's move on to addressing Ove's question on improving efficiencies. We're very pleased with our track record of meeting our guidance 9 years in a row. And it is true that this year in particular, hitting the all-in sustaining cost is challenging due to the industry-wide inflationary pressures. As we described at our Q3 results, following the SEMAFO and Teranga transactions, we've been able to leverage our collective strength as the largest mining company in the region to renegotiate longer-term contracts by using our increased group volumes. We've been able to secure contract terms that give us a greater cost certainty well into 2022 and in some cases as far out as 2025. In some instances, we have achieved significantly better prices compared to what Teranga or SEMAFO were paying. We've also placed a large effort on managing our supply and stock containment across the group. Given we have many operations in West Africa, we continue to assess opportunities to consider our inventory on a regional basis and not in isolation at the individual mine sites. In addition, we've also been navigating through the industry-wide cost inflation by working on improving our efficiencies. Following our recent integrations and given our increased size, we were able to set up a team dedicated to identifying and implementing optimisation initiatives. Here, we are focused on allowing our teams to be innovative and to think outside of the box when brainstorming how we can improve our efficiencies. Therefore, for our next videos, we thought it would be interesting to share 2 success stories from this year where we have used digitalisation to improve efficiencies. But before we show you these, we will show you a quick video Sebastian made for our employees to emphasise our digitalisation ambitions internally.
At Endeavour, we seek to live our purpose. That is to produce gold that provides lasting value to society. Whether it is our employees, our investors, or our local stakeholders in the countries where we operate. To fulfill this purpose, we need to make sure we have the right tools for the job. It is vital that we keep innovating and looking at ways to do things better. New digital technologies are at the forefront of modern society. They are transforming the way we live and work and also enhancing our experiences. They also have a significant role to play in mining. That's why we are launching a new digital program that will transform the company and help us make better decisions using better data that will result in better outcomes for everyone. Digitalizing our business will help us to improve production and be more efficient. It will enhance the way we work also with our employees and how we interact with each other as an organization. And even more importantly, it will boost our environmental health and safety standards. We've already introduced a number of digital initiatives. One is helping us use data to better optimize the ore blend at Ity for maximum production. Another is improving the operational efficiency of the SAG mill at Bungu. But these are only the start. We have a journey ahead of us to ensure that digital is embedded into everything that we try to do to improve our performance, resilience, and sustainability. Our digital transformation program is only just beginning, but the ambition is huge. That's why I, as CEO of Endeavour, am committed to giving in my full support and why I'm urging all of us to grasp the opportunities that the digital future has to offer.
Moving on to our first success story, where you will see the use of an artificial intelligence-based tool to enhance SAG mill operations at Bungu.
The SAG mill digital twin is a virtual model of the SAG mill behavior, and its objective is to support the control room operator in setting the right operation parameters for the SAG mill to increase the throughput. The strength of the tool is to be able to look at current and near past operating conditions and analyze the next steps through past behavior, hundreds of thousands of correlated data points, and suggesting better set points selected from a high volume of simulations.
The digital twin is available 24/7 to the operator and is displayed on a screen in the Bungu control room. The user interface is divided in two parts. The left-hand side that focuses on recommendation and immediate actions, and the right-hand side which displays analytics and support tools to better understand the SAG mill and the recommendation provided. Every half an hour, the tool issues new recommendation for the three main parameters of the SAG mill, as well as an estimation of the throughput over the next hour if those are followed.
The first strand of the tool is to increase the operator's confidence level and support him in his decisions by suggesting optimal set points to get closer to the edge where the efficiency is higher. The second strand of the tool is to allow the modification of more than one parameters at the same time, which can greatly reduce the time needed to discover optimal operation zone. And finally, by suggesting set points instead of merely implementing them automatically, the tool forces the operator to think about whether the effect of the change is good, and this process builds the operator's analytical capability and experience.
On the right-hand side, we can observe on the graph the dynamic between the current parameter state of the SAG and the recommended one, as well as the throughput uplift through time. Below, we have an interpretation of the model prediction to see which variable is responsible for the uplift throughput. Other tabs are available for further insights, such as a simulation engine, which enables the user to browse through the hundreds of simulations tested by the tools and pick the ones most adequate to the situation.
The side benefit of this project was to expose the plant team to the agile project management method used by the BCG team. Clear objectives and fast interaction with a multidisciplinary team allowed us to progress quickly and achieve better and longer lasting results. Trello, the management tool used for this project, is already being implemented on other plant projects outside the Innovation 4.0 scope.
It's interesting because I was a little bit skeptical at the beginning. The way I see Steve, I'm ready and give me more confidence. It's also like the first time after I start that we go quickly to reach this kind of value, probably because we didn't wait to test a single parameter and wait, but because we probability to make some change. So it's interesting.
Whilst that may have been a bit technical, we hope that the video gave you some insight into what we are doing and our approach that we have taken. Given the relatively small plant size at Bungu, increasing the plant efficiency has been a key driver to counter the mine's declining reserve grade. Our next video covers how we are using digitalisation to improve the ore blend at Ity. As you know, a key driver for success at Ity is getting the mill blend right, because of the many different pits and ore types. Recovery rates for different ores can range from as low as 60% to as high as 90%. So getting the right blend is critical. Let's watch.
Soro. I'm the technical service manager at Ity.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Endeavour. I'm senior mine geologist at Ity Mine.
The tools issued by BCG is a recommender for the blend to speed up the decision making on the selection of the optimized blend to be run in order to maximize the gold production.
What this application allows you to do is to upload a file containing the information that you want to optimize, run some sanity checks on your file, and then run the optimizer to get the daily blends. What you can do is adjust the constraints that you want the model to use here. You can also adjust the recovery function that you want to use and manually adjust some parameters if you want to run some scenarios, for example.
It's really a helpful tool. In terms of advantages compared to our current approach, I would say time saving for the decision making and also giving more confidence in terms of the optimization of the blend we will be running.
In the past, we found that the blend optimizer, we spend, let's say, 24 hours for the monthly blend. And with the blend optimizer, let's say that it's only, let's say, less than 5 minutes if all the data is complete very well. And the input in the blend optimizer, in 5 minutes, we have on the result that we can appreciate and adjust according to what we are expecting to have.
So here, for instance, on the 4th of May, we have some basic KPIs about the blend that the model recommends. And also we have an operational view of which stockpile we should blend together on this day. For a more monthly view, we can also display some monthly KPIs in this tab with, for instance, the blend composition for any given day in the month or any KPI that you would like to display here.
During that period, geology and process team really worked together, and it was a very helpful exercise. So now we have a kind of database of all the constraints we need to follow to make sure that our blend will be the most optimal one.
To resume on blend optimizer, we can say that blend optimizer is a flexible tool because we can have in hand, we can manage the constraint and adjust based on the new challenge that we are facing on ground. And it's very fast. In less than 5 minutes, we can have a result. It's something that is very, very suitable in terms of managing shortfall.
So first, the time saving. The second one is the holistic model. So we have a 360 degrees view of the constraint. And the other one also is the helping tools, is very helping tools.
These are just 2 initiatives among many that have been identified, and we are eager to share more successes in the new year. We have prioritised the initiatives with the best returns and immediate impact, which can be rolled over to multiple assets. The ITI example you have just seen has certainly assisted the mine to outperform this year. First, let me start by saying that the health and safety of our employees is our #1 priority, and in the midst of the continuing global pandemic, we are constantly reviewing and evaluating our preventative measures. Much of our efforts this year have concentrated on monitoring and prevention, though vaccination of our employees and contractors is now a key driver in line with the vaccination rollout around the world. To keep everyone as safe as possible from COVID-19, we introduced the Endeavour Health Pass, which regulates access to our social areas. Access to the guest houses, bars, swimming pools, gyms and other entertainment venues are now subject to the presentation of either a COVID-19 vaccination card or a negative PCR or antigen test, which is no more than 72 hours old. Overall, we are seeing good numbers in our ongoing vaccination campaign. So far, more than 98% of our expats and more than half of our employees are fully vaccinated, rising to 80% at some of our sites. The challenge has been a combination of access to vaccines and a reluctance to get vaccinated on the basis that COVID-19 impacts have not been as high in some of our host communities when compared to the experiences in other parts of the world. The coronavirus pandemic has really shone a light over the past year on the impact that health can have on the economic development of a country. COVID-19 may have made the world wake up to this, but it has been an underreported reality in many parts of Africa. While there were nearly 100 million COVID cases worldwide last year, according to the World Health Organization, there were around 229 million cases of malaria in 2019. Tragically, the disease kills a child under the age of 5 every 2 minutes. These deaths are particularly prevalent in West Africa, yet they are preventable. Reducing the number of malaria cases at our mines and in our communities is a priority for us. Malaria should not be seen as something that is normal or an everyday occurrence. Our focus has been on raising awareness and on taking steps toward prevention. Most notably, we are seeking to control the vectors that help it to spread through regular spraying programs and raising awareness of the simple steps people can take to protect themselves and their families. Last year, we had considerable success and were able to reduce malaria cases by 36% compared to 2019. Our Houndé mine has seen the best results so far, with an 80% reduction between 2018 and 2020. And we have ambitions to cut these cases even further this year. To ensure everyone across the business is aligned, our 10% reduction target forms part of the group-wide bonus for this year. Moving now to Ove's last question on diversity. As you might have seen from the videos presented today, the majority of our employees are nationals. In fact, of 7,000 employees, more than 95% are nationals. Growing and developing our local talent, both men and women, is a core philosophy of ours. I am proud to see so many highly talented West Africans thrive and advance in our business. Our senior management on site now comprises approximately 60% African nationals. We've also made good progress improving the diversity of our workforce. 21% of our new hires last year were women, and while we still have work to do, approximately 15% of our women are in supervisory or management positions. This has been a strong focus for us and not without its challenges, as we need to change perceptions of women both in the workplace and in mining in the countries in which we operate. Turning now to our last video, we thought it would be interesting to share with you a campaign that we ran to attract women to work at our ITI mine in Côte d'Ivoire, which we had translated into English for today's viewing. Let's take a look.
I am a woman, an integral part of the new day ahead. I have a wide range of potential. Upon my contact, the rocks explode. Holes are drilled in search of precious gold. I know how to face the most extreme pressures. I know how to take up challenges. I know how to lead, guide, and drive giants. I know how to find the best solution to the most complex situation. I know how to bring everyone together and work as a team. I know how to handle high-pressure situations and shine with 1,000 sparkles. Because I am a woman, I have a place on the mind. I am explosive. I am passionate. I am a fighter. I am dynamic. I am strong. I am daughter. I am mother. I am a woman.
We hope that you found the video as inspirational as I did. With that, I'm going to end this video part of the presentation, and I'd be happy to take questions from Ovais.
Thanks, Mark. That was a very interesting series of videos with really great insights. I think it provided exactly the kind of color and flavor we were looking for. Now, just a quick follow-ups on my end. Number one, starting off with, you touched upon optimization efforts, and those were two really good examples. Can you describe a few more?
Thanks, Ovais. So, we've identified over 30 initiatives across the group. For example, at a number of our operations, we are evaluating the potential for in-pit disposal of tailings, which is something that has been successfully done in other countries. The key to this is to ensure that any deleterious elements or compounds are below reporting standards, and that the geotechnical and water-related issues are well studied and understood. Initial discussions with a number of government agencies have been positive, and it is important that we work through these options carefully to ensure that all stakeholders are fully informed and supportive throughout the process. At Hyundai, we are looking at adding a solar plant which would lower carbon emissions and power costs. At Ity, the Depler fresh ore zone contains a significant portion of semi-refractory arsenopyrite, which achieves around 60% recovery in the current configuration of the CIL plant. We are therefore looking at achieving greater recoveries by pre-concentrating this material using flotation, followed by fine grinding and oxidative leaching to break down the sulfide matrix to render the gold amenable to normal CIL extraction thereafter. And of course, an ongoing initiative that has been running for a number of years has been the continuous improvement and optimisation of our supply chain and procurement, in particular integrating the former Semafo and Teranga assets.
Thanks, Mark. Switching gears a bit, a few months ago, Endeavour outlined its plans to discover up to 20 million ounces of gold, following on its recent success, which has found 8.5 million ounces on, of course, a smaller portfolio of assets. From an operating standpoint, how does this visibility on exploration impact mine planning?
Well, that's a great question. Thanks, Ovais. We're very fortunate to have this level of exploration visibility. From an operating standpoint, it means that we can generate life of mine plans knowing where we expect additional ounces to come in and where we can bring forward higher grade or higher value pits. It also allows us to continue to optimise our plants and then undertake smaller CapEx debottlenecking exercises before we continue any larger CapEx expansions. The exploration visibility also allows us to consider life of mine tailings storage requirements, which will be a combination of wall raises on existing facilities, construction of new cells adjacent to existing, or in-pit deposition scenarios.
Thanks, Mark. That was really helpful. Just moving on to my next question. Can you outline some of the initiatives being advanced on the ESG front?
Absolutely, Ovais. As the largest gold producer in West Africa and a major private employer in the region, our operations play a significant role in the economies of the countries where we operate. In fact, mining in emerging markets is one of the most impactful industries when it comes to ESG. We have the opportunity to deliver meaningful economic and social improvements in our host countries and to support government sustainability agendas. So we have created the Endeavour Foundation, which is our primary vehicle to implement our sustainability projects at the regional and national levels. The foundation is supported by our impact investing fund called EcoDev, which identifies those industries where there is a missing link or a barrier in the value chain where we can have the most impact. EcoDev's role is then to team up with a local partner and to finance the development of this missing link to create a sustainable business. The Mali She project is a great example of the impact EcoDev can have. Mali is the world's second largest producer of she, and it is the country's fourth largest export. However, it did not have any industrial processing capability. EcoDev identified this barrier and have invested in the country's first industrial-scale shea butter processing facility. Alongside the 128 direct jobs created, this plant will support 4,500 female farmers around our Kalana project, with an eventual goal to economically empower 120,000 women across the region and across Mali. We were in Mali last month to review our Kalana project and took the opportunity to visit Mali She. It is a very modern and well-run facility which has the potential to scale up further and also to consider downstream processing and alternative uses for some of the waste products generated in the process.
Thanks, Mark. That was really insightful and looks like a lot of interesting projects ongoing that will be impactful to the communities and women in the region. That really brings to life on how mining companies can have a direct impact on changing people's lives. I'm looking forward to hearing about additional projects that further enhance your surrounding communities. Now, Mark, moving on to my last question, what about your plans to achieve 30% reduction in emissions intensity by 2030 and ultimately net zero by 2050?
This is certainly something that is on everybody's minds right now, particularly after COP26. We are amongst the lowest emitters in our peer group from an intensity perspective, and all our mines perform better than the industry average based on where we are in our life of mine profiles. We are also committed to do the work necessary to align our businesses with the goals and the Paris Agreement and the Science Based Targets Initiative. As you mentioned, we have announced our goal of 30% emissions reduction by 2030 and an ultimate ambition of net zero by 2050. To achieve this, we have done two things. The first is linking our carbon reduction strategy to our long-term executive compensation scheme, which accounts for 25% of the long-term incentive plan. The second is to undertake a detailed action plan across our portfolio to reduce our emissions, and we expect to announce our roadmap next year. One of the most important aspects is to develop a detailed understanding of our current emissions and how this links with the production plans for each asset. Many of the emissions are linked to production schedules, whilst a considerable amount are fixed in nature too. We have identified 8 levers to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. On the mining side, we're looking at the use of cleaner fuels and the ways to optimise this in our fleet. Then looking at power generation, there are additional levers including improved generating capacity, increased efficiency, and switching to renewable power. We see solar as forming a core part of our energy mix going forward, and have identified potential for up to 150 megawatts of solar across our operations, starting with our Hyundai mine.
Mark, that was a fantastic overview today. Well, that's all the time we have today. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Martino, and the Endeavour team for putting this virtual site trip for Scotia Mining's clients, as well as myself. Look forward to attending these site trips in person, hopefully in the near future. Also want to thank everyone again for attending the Scotia Mining Conference and joining in on this virtual site tour.